What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is your host that does the absolute most, Evan Youngblood Williams here. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Personalizer. Now, before we begin the video, I'm going to ask that if you are brand spanking new to the Spiritual Intellectual 777 YouTube channel / the Spiritual Intellectual Show, for those that are listening to the audio version, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button and click that bell right next to it so you get notified every single Friday that I upload these videos. And if you're listening to this on Anchor or any other podcasting platform, make sure to hit that */subscribe button and also give this a rate and review so that we can go ahead and help more and more and more people. All right. So with that being said, also go ahead and cop you some merch by clicking the link in the description below. Get your Spirituality Never Stops shirts today. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. The very first trait of the Personalizer is that they take everything that everybody does to them or doesn't do to them, say or don't say to them personally, right? Hence the name, the Personalizer. And because they haven't quite learned this lesson that, nothing that anybody does or doesn't do to you, say or doesn't say to you is impersonal, they tend to repeat this cycle of taking everything personally over and over and over again. And they're just getting themselves stuck in a loop like a song that you put on repeat. No matter how many times that song ends, as long as you have that repeat button on, it'll keep recycling the same song over and over and over and over again until you decide to turn it off and let it move on to the next song. And I can attest to being like this myself, just like the other personality types that I've talked about on this channel. I was the, hyper perfectionist. I was also the drama magnet, and that I was also the pamper prince, as well. So just these first four, man, like I was all of them wrapped up into one, and I'm just like, geez, man, I got a lot of stuff to work on within myself, which is part of the reason why I made this series in the first place. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. If this sounds like you really need to, like I said in the previous 3 videos, look inside of yourself and see what is it that is within you that keeps you stuck in a cycle of constantly taking everything that everybody does or doesn't do, say or doesn't say personally. Because it is important to be self-aware so that you know what you need to change so that you don't constantly get caught up in these cycles day after day, hour after hour, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, because there are people that will be stuck in the same cycle for many, many decades without changing this particular fact about them. So, if I were you, I would be doing the inner work as soon as possible. So with that being said, moving on to the next point. Another dysfunctional trait of the Personalizer is that they tend to hold on to the hurt that they've experienced way back when in their childhood up until this day. And it's like Robert Greene talked about in his book, The 48 Laws of Power, is, the serpent with the long memory. So, I'm going to take a break from this point briefly and tell you that if you're interested in reading The Laws of Human Nature and The 48 Laws of Power, I have links to both of those books in the description below for you guys to go ahead and pick up and read, which they're very, very good books. I highly, highly recommend that you guys read those on your own spare time if you want to get into reading, or if you're already reading, you could just add 2 more amazing books to your collection. But back to what I was saying is that the Personalizer tends to hold on to all this hurt and all this pain and all of this bitterness for years upon years upon years and upon years and upon years. And they wonder why they lead lives of unhappiness, unfulfillment, fear, and constant pain, right? It's because they keep holding on to all of this pain and this hurt without letting it go. And we all know that if you don't let go of that hurt and pain that you've experienced years upon years ago, you start having disease, You start having failed relationships. You start, losing money. As soon as you get money, you tend to lose it because, you have a lot of energetic blocks. And then you start falling trap into different types of addictions. So yeah, the personalizer goes through all this hell in their lives all because they don't know how to let stuff go. Simply put, they don't know how to forgive people, and they hold on to all this bitter pain, hurt, and resentment, and it causes them to fall into these negative dysfunctional cycles. And like I said, if it sounds like you really need to go dig deep and look back at who you didn't forgive and go ahead and forgive them so that you can move on and prosper and be healthy and to live your best life, because that's what I want for you. And that's something that I had to do for myself, was to let go of holding on to this bitterness and this anger and this hurt and this animosity towards people that have hurt my feelings some years back. And this is all a part of your spiritual journey, is learning how to let go of that dead weight so that you can go ahead and open up your hands to the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, and it'll pour in all of your blessings and all of your breakthroughs, right? You'll start having breakthroughs in your life because you let all of this stuff go. And you'll notice that your reality will rearrange itself to match the new frequency that you're on. So, like I said, if you really want to experience newness and freshness in your life, you got to let that stuff go, buddy, because it's not helping you in any way. It's only hurting you on all fronts. All right. So, moving on to the very next point. Another dysfunctional trait of the personalizer is that they are extremely needy, right? And this is because when they were little kids, they didn't get enough love, attention, material possessions, and all the basic needs that a child should get ideally from their parents, but they wind up not getting it. And so they start growing up with this chip on their shoulder, feeling like they constantly, need to take everything personally, and they constantly need other people to validate their existence, right? And so they go around just really trying to get you to approve of them so that they can feel better, because they're lacking that self-love and that self-nurturing, and so they expect you to give it to them just because. And because of their constant neediness, they tend to push a lot of otherwise amazing people away. Henceforth, the reason why I said that, they tend to have a lot of failed relationships, because they tend to take everything that a person does or doesn't do, say or doesn't say personally. And if, like I said, if this sounds like you need to really dig deep on the inside and figure out what's holding you back from having amazing relationships. And also the fact that you need to reparent yourself, because the fact of the matter is that if your parents were poorly equipped and they weren't able to help you and to love you unconditionally and to really help you thrive on all fronts, then you're going to need to give yourself that. That's as simple and bluntly as I can put it, because it's no one else's job to validate your existence and to make you feel good, because other people have their own problems to deal with and they have their own lives. Not to say that, other people shouldn't help you or you shouldn't help other people, but at the same time, you have to realize that no one gives a damn about the harshness of your childhood. And I'm not saying that to try to put you down and to try to make you feel bad. I'm just giving you reality here, because people have their own dreams, they have their own priorities, and they have their own passions to be worried about you all the time. So you taking everything personally is only going to cause you to push people away instead of attract them to you. Because simply put, neediness is a repulsive trait for both males and females. So if you can overcome that neediness, it'll help you become attractive more just like that. And I found this to be true in my own life. Like, once I stopped being so needy, and once I stopped taking everything personally, and once I stopped, you know, needing constant validation and love from other people, it caused my attraction levels to rise up that much higher. Even though I am in a relationship, you know what I'm saying? I had ladies in the past that would try to flirt with me, all because, I didn't change my mindset, I didn't change my attitude, and I didn't shifted my energy. And so I'm saying this to you, not just so you can go ahead and get a bunch of girls or get a bunch of guys, but this is just for the own sake, for your own mental health and physical and spiritual health, that you need to go inside of yourself and heal whatever core wounds that are causing you to take every single freaking thing that people say or don't say, do or don't do personally. Okay. And so I am going to wrap up the video right here by saying, first of all, thank you for tuning into this video and watching it up until this point. And if you have watched it up until this point and you still haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure to go ahead and click the subscribe button below and click the bell right next to it so you get notified every single Friday that I upload these videos on this channel. And also cop you the Spirituality Never Stops shirt by clicking the link in the description below. And also, for all of those that are listening to the audio version, make sure to go ahead and star this if you're listening to this on Anchor, or if you're listening on any other podcasting platform, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you get notified, just like the peeps that watch on YouTube, every single Friday that I upload these episodes, right? And also, do not be afraid to leave a voice message if you're listening to this on Anchor. I have the link to it in the show notes below. And also, to go ahead and check me out on all of my social medias. I have them all on my link tree in the description/show notes below. And last but not least, make sure to go ahead and follow my beautiful, gorgeous significant other on all of her social media platforms so that you guys can get to know her. And if you want to book your coaching session as soon as she gets up and well within her wellness. And so yeah, she is still recovering from both of the surgeries, man. Like they said, it was going to take about a year for her to be in full healthy shape. So she is out of commission for a while to be taking clients, but once she gets back up and running, I will let you guys know that as soon as possible so that you can book your life coaching session with her, so that you can go ahead and overcome those abundance blocks so that you can go ahead and prosper. All right. So peace in and out with the highest vibes, and I'll catch you guys next Friday.